Cutting-edge science and research across Europe now in Futuris. It's lunchtime at the restaurant Eimond on the Dutch coast. Today's special is herring followed by catfish. So, what do these customers look for when they're choosing from the menu?
I'm looking for quality. I'm looking for fresh fish, tasty. That's what I'm looking for.
A good quality fish, a fresh fish. I think that's the most important. And then, of course, you need a good cook to prepare it well, because if you don't prepare the fish well, it can still be very good fish, but if you do not prepare it well, it's not tasty.
Consumers agree that fish needs to be fresh, but what else do they know? Dutch researchers are part of a wider EU project to investigate consumer attitudes towards fish.
When it comes to fish and seafood, consumers do not know that much about it. So they're rather innocent at this moment, and we would like to be one step ahead when it comes to advices to the industry, how to communicate animal welfare and ethical issues to consumers.
We try to find out how people look upon the production system of fish, because what they know or what they feel they know about their fish on their plate or in the shops affects their perception of the product to a large extent.
A key consumer trend is towards environmental sustainability and ethical treatment of animals. One response is to give consumers more information about where a product comes from.
At the moment we are working on a project. For the end of the year we are starting with a new project for the traceability. So we were going to work with labels on the fish so the consumer can exactly see where it's catched and when it is catched, where it's from, which ship it's catched by.
Fish caught in the wild are only part of the picture. Global demand for fish is growing, but overfishing means stocks at sea are under pressure. Fish farming offers an answer.
Aquaculture is booming. Everything is growing, and to reduce the wild stocks are reduced, and so you either find alternative wild species or you try to farm the species that you would like to consume.
However, research shows consumers aren't always that happy to eat fish raised in tanks.
At least we know for Dutch consumers the image of fish farming would be quite negative. People would associate it to bio-industrial practices like with chicken, which they know very well, which has been brought out to them by animal rights organizations and so. So they would assume that the fish are being packed, they get antibiotics, it's not a nice life for the fish.
Some in the aquaculture industry are trying to counter that image. The Estrupholm fish farm aims to be environmentally friendly and kinder to the fish. It's one of Denmark's so-called model fish farms. A strong water current in the basins means the trout stay active and healthier.
Here you see some of the fish who almost are ready to go to the factory. The gills, the eyes are clear and fine, and if you are looking on the color of the fish, it's a very nice color. So let it go again.
This facility uses far less water than traditional farms, relying on a high-tech filter system to keep the water clean.
There is a lot of farms who are using 600, 700, yeah, maybe 1,000 liters per second. You have to clean it again behind the farm, and that's difficult. It's not so easy. Here we are cleaning 30, maybe 28 liters a second. That's a lot easier to clean before it hits the freshwater system.
The fish from the Estrupholm farm are delivered here to Danforel in central Jutland, Europe's largest producer of smoked trout. They're held in tanks filled with water from a nearby river, meaning it's the right temperature for the fish. The firm aims to treat the trout in an ethically responsible manner because the final product is better as a result.
I believe that the modern consumer are going for higher quality. They have money to pay a little bit more for a better quality. They want to be sure that we have the traceability, and they want to be sure that they're not dying of the food they are eating, as we have seen from some of the BSE and so on. So I think it's very important that we focus on quality in all senses, in all dimensions.
One of the recent trends is towards reducing stress and pain for the fish during pre-slaughter and slaughtering. Here at Dan Forel they use a sharp electric pulse, considered to be the most humane way to kill the fish. Research on consumer preferences shows that while most people can't tell the difference between fish killed using standard practices as compared to low-stress practices, that doesn't mean they aren't interested in knowing more.
Consumers tend to rate the product better quality, better liking, higher liking when the product is treated in a more animal-friendly way. We provided them either with just a label being animal-friendly produced, or a label with more information. What does it mean when it's animal-friendly produced? That there were less fishes in the cage, that it was stunned and killed without stress for the fish, and they appreciate this information. They take this information and they rate the product better when there's more information.
People are not very much aware of any welfare issues in fish yet. It goes very much with the chicken and with the pork and beef, and that's of course also a general awareness raised by NGOs and welfare institutions. It's been on television, not so much for the fish yet, but I don't think we should wait for it. We should just be prepared, actually.
Consumer attitudes towards seafood are evolving. We know it's good for us and we want quality, but we're still learning what that means for the fish and the environment.